You might not believe this, but eating the wrong kind of nuts can actually make arthritis worse, raise your blood pressure, and even slow your brain. And yet, 4 specific nuts could help you live longer, walk steadier, and even keep your memory sharp. If you're over 65, this could be one of the easiest health upgrades you make this year. So grab a pen, subscribe to the channel, and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us grow and serve more amazing seniors like you. Drop a comment too. We read them all, and your feedback helps us improve every week. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to what we eat, even the smallest things like a handful of nuts. What once gave us energy can now quietly cause inflammation, fatigue, or joint pain. In fact, studies show nearly 60% of adults over 65 consume an imbalanced mix of fats, which can trigger a cascade of health issues, from stiff joints and brain fog to heart strain. The wrong fats sneak into our diets disguised as healthy, and unless we know which nuts help and which harm, we could unknowingly be speeding up aging instead of slowing it down. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 4 powerhouse nuts that support memory, mobility, and heart health, and 4 others that might be inflaming your joints and hurting your brain. These simple changes can lead to better balance, steadier energy, and fewer trips to the doctor. Let's explore what's really in your snack bowl and how to make it work for your body, not against it. Nuts are compact nutritional bombs. They're filled with fats, fiber, minerals, and antioxidants that, when chosen wisely, can fight disease and slow aging. But here's the catch. Not all fats are equal. Many popular nuts have a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, meaning they promote inflammation if not balanced properly. Chronic inflammation is one of the leading causes of pain, fatigue, and even cognitive decline in seniors. A study from Tufts University found that seniors who regularly ate omega-3 rich nuts, like walnuts, scored higher on memory tests and had lower rates of cardiovascular issues. So yes, the right handful of nuts can help you think more clearly and move more easily. Signs you're eating the wrong nuts. How do you know if your nut habit is helping or hurting? Here are the warning signs. You wake up with stiff, aching joints. Your thoughts feel sluggish or forgetful. You get bloated or gassy after snacks. Your doctor says your cholesterol or blood pressure is creeping up. These can all be subtle signs of inflammation, and many times the culprit is hidden in processed or high omega-6 foods, including certain nuts. 4 nuts you should eat. Let's talk about the 4 nuts that deserve a regular spot in your pantry, because they don't just taste good, they actively support your health as you age. Whether you're looking to reduce joint pain, protect your heart, improve memory, or just stay independent longer, these 4 nuts can help you get there. 1 handful at a time. 1. Walnuts, the brain's best friend. Let's start with the superstar, walnuts. These are truly the smart snack for seniors. Why? Because they're one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, especially a type called ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. Omega-3s are powerful brain protectors. Studies from UCLA and Harvard have linked regular walnut consumption to improved memory, reduced risk of Alzheimer's, and lower levels of depression in older adults. But that's not all. Walnuts are anti-inflammatory, support healthy cholesterol levels, and contain polyphenol, natural compounds that reduce oxidative stress in the brain. How to enjoy them? Eat 5 to 7 whole walnuts, not just halves, per day. Add to a salad with spinach, olive oil, and a few blueberries for a brain-boosting lunch. Blend into a homemade walnut butter, great on celery sticks. Tip: store walnuts in the fridge or freezer to keep their oils fresh and avoid them going rancid. 2. Macadamia nuts, the heart helper. Next up are macadamia nuts, rich, buttery, and incredibly heart-healthy. These are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil. They help lower bad LDL cholesterol while raising the good HDL cholesterol. This balance supports smoother circulation and reduces arterial stiffness, a common issue as we age. Macadamias also contain flavonoids that help repair damaged cells, and they're naturally low in omega-6s, meaning they don't fuel inflammation like some other nuts can. They're also lower in carbs than most nuts, making them a great option if you're watching your blood sugar or following a low-carb or diabetic-friendly diet. How to enjoy them. Eat 10 to 12 macadamia nuts as a midday snack. Toss them into steamed veggies for a satisfying crunch. Use macadamia oil for light sautéing. It has a high smoke point and a mild, buttery flavor. Tip: buy them raw and unsalted to avoid processed oils and extra sodium. 3. Brazil nuts, the immune and thyroid booster. Here's one that's lesser known, but incredibly powerful. Brazil nuts. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day gives you more than enough of a critical mineral called selenium. Selenium helps your thyroid regulate metabolism, a function that slows down with age. It also acts as a potent antioxidant, protecting your cells from free radical damage. Studies show that seniors with higher selenium levels have better immune responses, fewer infections, and lower rates of cognitive decline. But remember, Brazil nuts are potent. More is not better. Because of the high selenium content, eating more than 3 per day consistently may lead to too much selenium, which can cause fatigue or brittle nails. How to enjoy them. Eat 1 to 2 Brazil nuts in the morning with your vitamins. Chop into oatmeal or sprinkle over plain yogurt. Mix with a few almonds and macadamias for a senior-friendly trail mix. Tip: always store them in a cool, dark place. They're sensitive to heat and light. 4. Almonds, the bone and blood sugar stabilizer. Last but not least, almonds. These crunchy favorites are packed with magnesium, calcium, and vitamin E nutrients that support bone strength, nerve health, and cellular repair. Almonds are especially helpful for postmenopausal women who are at higher risk of osteoporosis. Just 20 almonds deliver about 75 milligrams of calcium, plus magnesium, which helps the calcium get into your bones. They're also rich in fiber, which helps stabilize blood sugar, manage weight, and keep digestion regular. How to enjoy them. Eat 15 to 20 almonds as a snack, but chew thoroughly as they're dense. Try them soaked overnight. This can reduce their phytic acid and make them easier to digest. Make your own almond milk at home with just almonds and water. No added sugars or preservatives. Tip: go for raw or dry roasted. Avoid smoked, honey roasted, or cocoa dusted varieties. They're loaded with extra sugars and oils. Bonus combo tip: for maximum benefit, pair these nuts with other nutrient-dense foods. Walnuts plus blueberries for brain health. Almonds plus sardines for stronger bones. Macadamias plus olive oil plus leafy greens for heart and circulation. Brazil nuts plus eggs for immune and thyroid support. Think of these nuts as daily medicine in a shell, tiny tools to help you feel sharper, stronger, and more energized with every bite. For nuts to avoid. Now that we've covered the best nuts to support your brain, bones, and body, let's talk about the ones that may be working against you. Yes, even some of the most popular nuts at the grocery store could be silently sabotaging your health. From joint pain to high blood pressure to slower memory and weight gain. These next 4 nuts are worth rethinking, especially if you're over 65. 1. Peanuts, not really a nut and not really helping. Let's start with a surprising one, peanuts. Technically, they aren't even nuts, they're legumes like beans and lentils. And while they're inexpensive and familiar, peanuts can bring hidden problems to the table for older adults. Peanuts are very high in omega-6 fats, which are known to promote inflammation when they're not balanced with omega-3s. That means more joint pain, more stiffness, and higher risk of inflammatory conditions like arthritis. They're also one of the most pesticide-heavy crops and are prone to aflatoxin contamination, a natural mold toxin that can affect liver health and has been linked to cognitive decline over time. Even peanut butter, especially the shelf-stable kind, is often loaded with added sugars, seed oils, and hydrogenated fats, which contribute to weight gain and inflammation. Signs it might be hurting you. You feel puffy, stiff, or tired after eating. Your blood pressure or blood sugar seems harder to manage. Your joints ache more the next morning. What to do instead? Try almond butter or walnut butter, especially brands with just one ingredient, the nut itself. Or go for a handful of raw almonds or walnuts if you want a protein boost. 2. Cashews, sweet, creamy, and surprisingly high in carbs. Cashews are often seen as healthy, but they can be misleading, especially for seniors. They have a delicious, creamy texture, but they're relatively high in carbohydrates compared to other nuts. This can cause blood sugar spikes, which isn't ideal for anyone managing prediabetes, diabetes, or weight loss. Cashews also have a high omega-6 fat content, and they're one of the more allergenic nuts, meaning they can trigger mild sensitivities like bloating, rashes, or fatigue, especially when eaten regularly. Most store-bought cashews are also roasted in vegetable oils like soybean or canola, which further increase their inflammatory impact. What to look out for? Feeling gassy or bloated after eating cashews. Increased stiffness in your hands or knees. Blood sugar swings, especially in the afternoon. What to do instead? Replace cashews with macadamia nuts for the same creamy mouthfeel but better fat profile. If you love cashew-based sauces, try blending almonds with a splash of olive oil and water for a healthier base. 3. Pistachios, sneaky salt, and questionable oils. Pistachios might be fun to crack open, but they're often roasted in inflammatory seed oils like safflower, sunflower, or canola, and doused in too much salt. This is a problem because many seniors already struggle with elevated blood pressure or are on medications that make them sensitive to sodium. Too much salt can lead to fluid retention, swollen ankles, and even shortness of breath, not to mention putting strain on the heart. And while pistachios do have some good nutrients, their benefits are often overshadowed by poor preparation methods. Watch for these red flags. Roasted and salted in flavored oils. Bright green color from food dye, not natural. Flavor versions like honey chili or barbecue with added sugars and preservatives. Better options. Go for unsalted, dry roasted pistachios sparingly, or skip them in favor of raw almonds or walnuts. If you're watching sodium, stick to raw nuts and season them yourself with herbs like rosemary or turmeric. 4. Flavored, glazed, or coated nuts. Health halo disguises. Finally, steer clear of any nuts that come coated, candied, flavored, or dusted. We're talking about honey-roasted peanuts, maple-glazed pecans, chocolate-covered almonds, sriracha cashews, even yogurt-covered raisins or trail mixes. These might be tasty, but they're often loaded with sugars, refined oils, artificial flavors, and preservatives, turning what could be a healthy snack into a mini dessert. These processed ingredients don't just add empty calories. They also promote inflammation, insulin resistance, and fatigue, especially in older adults who are more sensitive to blood sugar swings. Why they're risky? They spike your blood sugar, leading to crashes later. They increase cravings and lead to weight gain. They worsen chronic pain, arthritis, and fatigue. Smarter alternative. Stick to raw, unflavored nuts. If you want a sweet treat, try a few almonds with a square of 85% dark chocolate. It satisfies the craving without all the junk. The goal isn't to fear food. It's to choose the ones that support your goals. And as we age, every bite matters a little more. Avoiding these 4 types of nuts, peanuts, cashews, heavily salted pistachios, and sugar-coated varieties, can help reduce inflammation, support your heart, and keep your joints moving freely. Remember, food can either fuel healing or quietly feed disease, and the power is in your hands. So what happens when you switch to the right nuts and cut out the wrong ones? In 1 week, many people notice less bloating, better digestion, and even reduced stiffness in the morning. By 1 month, you may feel more mental clarity, balanced energy, and improved cholesterol levels at your next checkup. And by 3 months, many seniors report better grip strength, steadier balance, and a renewed sense of vitality. It's not magic. It's the power of choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. So now I want to hear from you. What's your go-to nut? Have you noticed a difference in how you feel after switching to raw or healthier varieties? Drop your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Your experience might just help another viewer make a smart change. If this video helped you, give a thumbs up. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. We post senior health tips every single week, backed by science and made for real life. Because aging well isn't about luck, it's about knowledge, habits, and a little help from your friends.